Hi everybody, I'm Donna Lennard and thanks for coming back to my watercolor studio. Just a real quick recap before we get started today. The first lesson we did some northern lights, we did a lake reflection, we did some illusion of flowers, we did some birch trees, we played with some salt, we did a sunrise / sunset, depending on how you're looking at it. And yesterday we did a monochrome, just using one color, which that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. All right, so today what we're going to do is we're going to do a moonscape. I developed these when my northern lights wouldn't work out, and I kind of lost the brightness. I would just throw some colors over, and I tried a technique that's called lift. So I really enjoy doing these. All right, so we're going to get started right away, and what I am going to do is I'm going to bring you a little closer to the action, and hopefully that'll work good. Let's see. I'm just going to scooch over there a little bit. All right, now you maybe can watch me a little bit better. All right, so I'm just going to take this big brush that I've had forever, and I'm just going to get this whole page wet like I usually do. Okay, and then I'm going to use my 1-inch angle shader that I just love, and I'm going to take a little bit of this alizarin crimson, and this is just going to put a little glow in the back. You don't want to use a ton of the red because it is a staining color and it'll be hard to lift it off, but that's what we're going to do. We're going to put the paint on and then we're going to lift it back off. All right, so again, I'm going to start up in this corner. And I'm going to lay this really pretty red on here. And I'm going to come about 2/3 down. And I'm just going to add a little more color. Okay. And then I'm going to put a little bit on the bottom. But I'm going to kind of leave that white area kind of right in the middle there. And I just went over it a little bit just to blend. Okay. All right, now I'm going to take that Prussian blue that I love. All right, so we've got a nice cool red. The alizarin crimson is cool. And this Prussian blue is also a cool blue. And I'm just going to lay that right over this red. And we're going to kind of let the color mingle on the page a little bit. I'm going to give it a little bit more because we want it to be dark. And I'm going to just go back and forth to try to get that smooth. And like I say, as long as my paper is wet, I can move that paint around wherever I want. Now I want this is awfully sharp, so I'm just going to go in here and I'm just going to work this back and forth just so that blends up a little bit. There we go. All right, so now while it's still wet, I'm going to take a smaller angle shader and it's wet, and then I want to keep a tissue in your hand and I'm just going to kind of get the water off a little bit. Now we're going to go in here and we're going to take the paint off. And I'm just going to go in. Now while this is wet, it's going to take a little while before that moon kind of shapes up. So what I'm doing, I'm taking the paint off, and then I'm putting it in the water, and then I'm drying the brush. Not totally dry, but just enough to... It's got to be a little wet or it won't suck up the color. And as this page starts to dry, those edges will get a little sharper. And I don't like to go all the way around. Again, I'm very much an illusionist, so we wanted to just give the feel. You don't have to get all the little craters in there. I mean, you can. But you got to put a lot of work into that. All right, and then lifting the paint off, you get kind of a nice fuzzy edge on this, which I think is a little more believable compared to putting a round sticker on there and painting around it. Anyway, so there we go there. And I could just play with these moons, you know, forever. You can start out small, and then as you try to get your edges nice and round, you can just make it bigger and bigger and bigger. And of course, those moons are always gorgeous. Anyway, there's our lesson for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you tomorrow.